Hi, welcome to Katuta Tutorials. Today we're going to go over GuardPoint, Patrol, and Wander. I actually have a little mistake that I did in the very first episode that we're going to go back and fix. So, let's do that first, but before that, I'd like to remind everyone that at the very end of the episode I'm going to go over everything I've done in this tutorial and see if you want to do that. You can skip forward, skip ahead to that, see if this is what you want to do, and then come back and watch the entire thing. We're going to be going over Guard Point, Patrol, and Wander, kind of a wander setting, so he kind of just roams. Alright, so let's get started. The mistake that I did is a very small one, but something that affects it nonetheless. In our idle walk run right here, if we double click that and we pull that over, it's out of 100. It's actually supposed to be out of 600, which is our speed of our character. If we apply changes, it's immediately going to squish everything down and see it just gets real small. It's okay, we're just going to delete. Yep. Now we're going to take our run, and we're now going to put that at 600. And it's 600. Yep. So it's to 600 now instead of to 400. Now our walk, we're still going to put it around the first line. So now we have this blend, but it's out of 600. Sorry for that screw up. You can call me dumb head, call me whatever. I'll put a little mark in the first video so everyone knows that problem. Make sure you change that because it's going to be very important in this episode that your character doesn't look real dumb while he walks around. Now, it's also important to make note that our walk is at about 150. 150. Alright, so we're going to start with our we're going to start with the guard point. Let me just check something real quick. Alright. So, actually we're going to start with somewhere else. So, in our character movement, okay, under our AI characters blueprint, in our AI BP, this is our character BP for our AI. We're going to open that. In our character movement, if we click on character movement and in the details search, we type walk, you're going to find something that's called max walk speed. Normally that is set to 600. We are going to set that to 150, the walk speed from our idle walk run. It's very important. That means by default he is walking everywhere. Normal guards don't run everywhere. This guy's not going to run everywhere. So we're going to compile that. That's a good place to start. Next. Actually, we're going to go back to the AIBP. We're going to go in our event graph. A lot of time we're in here. Now we're in here. Under variables, this variable tab right here, we're going to click add new variable. And we're going to call this guard. I always make too many capitals. Guard point. Actually, we're going to call it GuardPoint 1 for reasons that will be made apparent in a second, in a little bit. And under variable type, we're going to click that, and we're going to make sure you pick actor. Actor type. Very important that it's actor type. Now, see this closed eye? We're going to open it. It's also very important that we open the eye. So, what open eye means, it means it's editable, which means we can edit in the world. So if we compile that, close that, now we look at our AI. If we type in guard target, guard point 1, it's part of the defaults. We can edit in here. We don't even need to go into blueprints. It can be edited right in level. So we're just going to keep that there for now. Now we're going to go over to our AI guard controller. Now this is about to get a whole lot bigger. But first, the very first thing we're going to do is copy these nodes. We're not going to make a new object as target. We're just going to copy them and use them so we don't have to use the same BP over and over again. This is a very useful strategy because it saves you a lot of time. Now, for those of you who don't know, you can just highlight by dragging a mark key over all your nodes, hitting Control C, and then going over to an empty part of your graph and hitting Control V, and there you have it. You have a duplicate of your nodes. So for this, we're going to need to attach it to event begin play. Now we're going to do that. Alright. Now it gets a little difficult for those of you who don't know how any blueprinting. We're going to do something called casting. Casting is asking another blueprint for its variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do cast to, and now we have all this stuff. Now what I want to cast to is AI underscore BP. Now here, this is the very first one. This is the one we want. Now, so I'm going to put that in here. So it casts to the blueprint and then ends there. One thing about cast is it needs to know where to cast from. It needs some place as a start point in order to know where to end. So we have to get some. We have to ask it what's the start point. So we do this thing called get controlled pawn. What that does is it asks the AI guard controller who's controlling this. Once it gets that answer, it plugs it into here and then use that as the object for the cast. Alright. That was a little complicated, but we're going to get a little easy from now on. Alright, from as AI BP, we're going to bring that down. And remember that variable we made a little bit ago? We're going to call get guard target guard.1. We're going to make that right there. So what that does is now we have this whole setup. Now we're not trying to make that our target. What we're trying to do is make it our guard point. Guard.1. So we're going to compile that. Now this is all set up. We're going to just move it so it's all neat. It's all neat and tidy. Now we're going to close this out. We're going to go to our AI brain folder and we're going to open our behavior tree. Now this is our behavior tree at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight these two nodes. We're going to move it over so we have room for our guard point. So we're going to move that down, and now we're going to make another sequence because we always start off with sequences, and then we're going to title this guard point. And now we're going to pull this down. It's going to be another move to, and we're going to move to, but we only have target because we haven't made anything in our blackboard. So if we go over to our blackboard, add new key, add new object key, and we're going to call this, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it guard point. Guard.1. Actually, guard.1. Yep. Alright. So guard.1, same way we named it in our guard controller in our key, because we called it guard.1 for our key name, and it's guard.1. These spellings, the spelling of it is very important because it compares the names, and if it's not exactly the same, it won't set it. So under key type for our guard.1, we're going to go over here. We don't want object, we want actor. We want an actor type. So this is all set up now. We're going to go over here, and this did not automatically update because it doesn't know what we want to set it at. So we're just going to have to tell it guard.1. So this is all set up. Now we're going to close that out, and we're going to look here. He hasn't moved. Do you know why? Because we haven't actually told him where to go. So if we go over here and go to target point, now we have a target point. Target points are just locations in the world that uses markers. They don't render in the game. They just are good placing points. So we have guard.1, target point. That's a good place to put it. I'm just going to have him run forward at the beginning level and just stay there. But under our character, when we type in guard, we get guard.1. Now this is going to give up every asset in our game. We just want that target point right there. That's all we want. So now when we play the level, he walks forward. Now he's walking. Notice because he hasn't seen us. And as soon as he sees us, he starts walking towards us. What we're going to do next is have it so as soon as he sees us, he breaks into a run. So we're going to go over to our guard controller. Yep. Now remember that cast that we just did? Hey there, sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties, but we're all good again. For those of you who don't know, well, not don't know, but all right, we're gonna set the walk speed to run as soon as he sees him. So on cpawn was when he sees him, we're gonna set the target and then we're gonna set the walk speed. Doing this, we're gonna have to copy our cast to Ai BP and get controlled pawn. So we're gonna copy that over and move that down. Now that we have that, we're gonna do, if we look over on our Ai BP, which is our character blueprint for this, we have character movement, which holds the variables for walk speed, as you can see somewhere around here. So if we go over here and from our cast to Ai BP, we pull this off and we type in get character movement right there. Get character movement, and then we type in set max walk speed. It's exactly what we want, and we just connect it in. Now 150 was the speed of walking. 150 was the speed of walking. 600 is the speed of max running, which is what we want. So we want him to walk around and then run as soon as he sees us. So when we play it, he walks to his target. We go over, we're seen by him, and he starts running, which is exactly what he wants because he wants him to be in full alert as soon as he sees us. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do patrol points, which are similar to the guard point, except for it's just in a row. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to zoom above our level, click on our guard point, and we're going to hold Alt, and we're going to move this around this block. Alright, so we just have a square of patrol points. So he goes at a square. He patrols the square. It's his personal square. It's his special square. It's what he dies for. Alright, so now we're going to need to make more variables. In our Ai BP, we're going to open that up, and we're going to make, this is why I named it GuardPoint 1. We're going to duplicate actually we're just going to go like that, and then duplicate, boring. Control W duplicates. Yeah, Control W, 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 W. Yeah, let's just use those. Delete, delete, delete. Alright, so now we have GuardPoint 1 through 4. That's what we want. Alright, we're going to compile it. They're all visible. We're going to close this. Now on our target, we're going to do this and go target point 1, target point 2, target point 1. Oh wait, no, I messed up. This is 3. Let's just say 4. It's nothing. 3, 2. 4, nothing, 3, 2. It's complicated and you shouldn't do it like me, but just stick with me. 4, nothing, 3, 2. Alright, so now we have a target point set up. So now we're going to have to go back to our Ai guard controller. Now it notices that this is now an error because it doesn't exist. So we're going to exit that out. We're going to call get guard. We're going to need to get them all eventually, but we'll just get the one for now. And then we're going to get guard target 2. get guard target 3, and get guard target 4. Alright, so this is more or less what we want. But it's very stringy, and let's just give ourselves some space because we don't want to be cluttered. We have infinite amount of space, so why not use an infinite amount of space, you know? So I'm going to move this blackboard over, move this over, move this over, and then I'm just going, I'm just going to highlight these nodes. I'm going to Control C, and now this is the part where it gets kind of complicated. Control V, Control V, Control V. It's not that complicated, but it can get kind of overwhelming just because there's so many nodes everywhere. So we're going to connect this all in a line. Now guard 2 needs to be part of that. Guard 3, guard point 3 needs to be over there. Guard point 4 needs to be right there. Alright. So now there's only one more thing we need to do in this controller BP, and that's rename these files because it doesn't know what we want. It's just going to think we all want to set the same number a billion times. So we're just going to do 2, and we're going to name it 3, and we're going to name it 4. Alright, so now we have it all set up. Now we're going to go over and just compile it, close this out, and now we're going to move to our brain, our AI brain, and we're going to go to AI behavior tree. Now, as you can see, we have our guard point 1. It's kind of neat that it is a sequence because it'll do it in order for us and then reset. So if we just line up our move tos in order, it'll do them all, and then once it's reached the end, redo it. So we don't need to do that much work in here. It's actually pretty simple. We're just going to copy and paste our move to over and just connect these points. Now, if you look closely, it tells you the order in which they're done. It's doing 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty handy. Another handy tool inside the behavior tree is if you right click and go to auto range. It just auto ranges everything for you, and it's all neat, it's all ready, it's all nice. Now we're going to go back to our blackboard to set up our variables. Now here, as you can see, we just can't duplicate it over. So we're going to have to manually make 3 more guard point targets. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to highlight it, but I am going to copy the name because I'm lazy. I'm just going to paste it over. Except right now I'm going to delete and press 2. Paste it, delete, press 3. Paste it, delete, press 4. Now the one last thing that we need to do that we always need to do is go over to here, press actor. It's important it's not an actor. I'll show you why in a second by not setting the last one as an actor. Okay, so guard point 4 is not set as an actor. So when I go to behavior tree and I set up guard point 3, guard point 2, guard point 3, as you can see, guard point 4 isn't even in this Blackboard key selector. It's because it's not registering as a game object. It's registering as an object inside your content browser. So let's just go quickly back to the key and set as an actor. Go back over here, and it's all lonely, and you set it for auto range, and it's just neat. Everything's ready, and now save. One more thing, just for handy sake. I'm going to make a copy of this block by holding Alt and moving it over in front of my character, because remember we have him able to see us and then run to us. So as long as I block me, it shouldn't be a problem. Now the problem is now I can't see anything. So if I just hit Shift F1, now I can move my mouse around, and I'm just going to eject myself from the player. And as you can see, he's very digitally walking around that block. It's his block. He's guarding it. Alright, that's how you do wander nodes, and obviously you can customize it to yourself. You can only put 2 nodes down there, and you can just wander back and forth between 2 game objects. Now we're on to my favorite type, which is the wander method. I like this the best, it's the most unique, and it's kind of nice, especially for a zombie game, to just have them wandering about. I like it. So we're going to stop this, and it's actually a lot less nodes and a lot less craziness. We don't even need to go into the BP, into the character BP. We don't even need to go in here. We do need to go into the AI controller BP. So in order for it to have the wander, we're just going to disconnect this for the moment. If this is if that's what you want for your game, you're more than welcome to just use that. Actually, not that. My bad. I was confused. We're going to disconnect that. And we're just, that's fine, and we're just going to move that over there for now. Alright, now we're going to highlight this, move this up, and do something. Actually, we're going to start off in the behavior tree this time. So we're going to go over to the behavior tree, select on the behavior tree, move these GuardPoint targets down. I won't delete them in case anyone wants to look at them later. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to delete that one line. Bring this down, and we're going to do selector. I mean, not selector, sequence. And we're just going to name it wander. And we're going to do move to. And we're going to name move to. We're not going to name anything. Move to wander, that's fine. And go to blackboard. Now we're going to add a key. We're not going to add an object time. We're going to add a vector. Vector is what we want for this. And we're just going to do wander with a capital W. So wander. That's all we need to do. Very simple. And as you can see, when we go over here, not only can we do targets, but we can also do vectors, because vectors are points in the world. And that's exactly what we want. So we're going to click wander. It's going to move to wander. Alright. So now we're going to close this out. Our behavior tree is all done. And we're going to go back to our guard controller. Over here. Now, if I wanted to wander, first I need to get his start location and then have him wander around that point. I need that start location to be his center, basically. I don't want him to stray too far. So I'm going to need to add a variable, and it needs to be set. No, it's going to need to be AI world loc. That's what I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make it a vector. Alright, so next I'm going to do a set AI world loc, and it's going to be set right there, and we're going to bring this down, and we're going to need to get the world. That's not how you spell world, is it? World. I can't spell for shit. World location. World look. Oh no, not set world location. Get world location. Get world location. Yep. So get world location set to there. Now, next we're gonna want to steal this get controlled and cast. We're gonna need to steal that, bring it over here, and connect it in. Now it's going to ask you to convert, just allow it to convert. It's exactly what you want to do. So now this isn't connected, and I don't really want to go through all the connecting. And we can do that. All you need to do is right click on it and do to convert to pure cast. We'll convert it into not an executable function, but just a node function. Alright, so if we look at all this, it's exactly what we want. It gets the control pawn of this, which is the which is the AI BP, gets its cast component, and gets the world location of the cast component, and then sets it on AI world location. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to steal a different, no, go away. Okay. We're going to steal a different part of this, but we're not going to steal that. We're going to go over here and we're going to set value as, we're not doing object this time because we have a vector as our key. We're going to set object as vector, and we're going to do get. And the reason we didn't just plug this straight into this is I'll show you in a second. Key name, we're going to make a literal name. So we drag that down, make literal name, and we have named it capital W-A-N-D-E-R. Wander. That's its wander target. And its blackboard is normal. We're just going to copy that over because I don't want to set it all up again. Move it out. No, don't try to crowd your things. Space isn't limited in these graphs. So I can go as far as any direction, so don't ever try to crowd yourself. I can, like, look how much space I have. And then I can even go, like, way out over here. I have unlimited space. So never try to crowd your graph. Alright. Now, the only problem with this is it's going to set the world location. Here, let me just delete some of this. It's bothering me. Only problem is only going to be one location. It's not a wander, it's just a single location because it's just wherever it starts is where it's going to wander to. So it's not going to move anywhere because it doesn't have anywhere to move. So the easiest way to do that is we're going to unclick that and we're going to do this. We're going to alter these variables just by a tad. So we're going to first do a make vector on the vector value for the set value as vector, and we're going to break vector. So now we have these two things, which now convert the vector into three floats, x, y, and z. Z is up and down, and we don't want that to change. It's not going to wander upwards. That's just impossible. It's dumb. So we're going to connect z to z. We're going to worry about x and y. X and y is where he's going to wander. So now we're going to pull this out and do a plus, and we're going to do float plus a float. We're going to do context sensitive float plus a float. Remember, never crowd yourself. If you ever feel like you're being crowded, just give yourself more room. You have infinite amount. And we're going to do that for both y and x and y. Now, what are we going to add to it? We're not going to add 1 to it. We can't make it any one number because we want it to be a random sort of generated function. So we're going to pull this down. We're going to do random in range. Random in range is a really unique function. It generates a random number within the range that you set. The range that I'm going to set is negative 500 to 500. That's only 500 units on the x-axis at the moment. So I'm going to copy this random float in range and I'm going to paste it. So now I still have these 500, 500. And I'll plug that straight into here. So now he's going to wander. He's going to pick a location and wander to that. The only problem is he's going to wander once and he's never going to wander again. Let's just see that for a sec. I'll show you how it looks. No. So he wandered from there to there. If I want, I can do simulate, and he's now wandering to there, and he's going to stop. He doesn't repeat himself, he just stops. So if we want to repeat, to be able to repeat, we're going to do a delay. And then we're going to plug the delay back into here. And let's say we want 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, he's going to pick a new location and wander there. Now this is exactly the reason why we didn't, why we have this variable set up. So we have a core of where he started that's not changing. If we just plug that straight into there, it's going to get his vector value every place he stops. So we could wander all the way to Nebraska for all that happens. All right. So now the only problem with this is this duration. I don't want him every 5 seconds. It's too rigid. I don't like it. So what I'm going to pull it off, I'm going to pull off duration. I'm going to do random, that same node that we did in range before, random in range. So now we're going to do, let's say, minimum 1 second. The max is 5 seconds. And in between 1 and 5 seconds, he's going to wait, and he's going to pick a new direction to go to. So now if I play that, every 1 to 5 seconds, he chooses a new location and wanders to it. It's my favorite personally. And if I possess, and I can go here, and he has seen me. He's going to try to get to me, and I am going to, and he's gotten to me. That's the basic functions. Thanks for watching the video. This is the end of the video. It's been a long video, I know. Feel free to take whichever parts of it you want and disregard whatever points you don't want. Let's go over what we did. First thing we did is, I deleted a lot what I did, so I can't show you much. First thing we did is we set up a guard target for him to move to first and then stay there. Next thing we did is we set up a patrol path for him to patrol in whichever way he wants, and then repeat that function over and over again until he dies. Next thing we did is we set up a wander, which, like I said, is my personal favorite, which makes him wander whichever way he wants to, and then as soon as he sees you, he runs. Another thing we did is we changed he's walking whenever he's wandering. He's walking normally, he doesn't run places, just when he's not aggravated. I think it's a far superior method because no one's going to run to a guard point. And oh wow, it's 20 minutes. And then as soon as he sees you, he gets stimulated and he runs straight at you. So that's what we did for this video. Thanks for watching. It's a long video, I know. Take what you want out of it, disregard what you don't want out of it. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you next video. I think we will be doing how to hurt these enemies. So I'm going to get some animations ready for these guys. Thanks. Bye.